Did you know that firefighters are heavily involved in the spread of forest fires using controlled burn methods? Now, depending on who you are and what your knowledge of firefighting techniques is, you may or may not be upset about this statement in different ways. What happens if I say that same sentence with a different emphasis? I bet you didn't know that fucking firefighters are heavily involved in the spread of forest fires using controlled burn methods. Both of these sentences say exactly the same thing on paper, minus the interrogative, but my tone and delivery imply different levels of outrage while relying on you to connect that tone to your own biases about how you feel on the subject. This is how you lie while telling the truth. This is something conservative talk media does very effectively. Like this whole, I bet you those liberals want everyone to have free access to food and water, right? Like that makes it sound like that's a bad thing. Bullshit like this is why there's so much stigma about how people are coming to this country. And all of it has always gone back to demonizing asylum seekers, mass migration movements, all that stuff. I mean, it's not hard to find Holocaust deniers protesting Jewish migrants while we were overseas fighting the war. A lot of anti-immigration people talk matter-of-factly about how people enter this country in droves without being allowed, especially during Biden's administration. And the first thing that comes to mind is, if that was happening, what you're implying is that Border Patrol was literally just sitting and letting people flow into the country without doing anything. And this is just stupid because this is verifiable information. If there's one thing Border Patrol loves doing, it's killing migrants. Look it up. But what this sentiment is covering up is that these people know what's going on because they're being sold on a distorted version of what is happening. A lot of this is just misunderstanding the asylum process, but also not understanding how migrant caravans are managed, or even just lies about the catch and release program. There are many people fleeing dangerous situations, whether they be destabilized nations or people on the run for organized gangs. Most of them are destabilized because of U.S. interventions. We call these people asylum seekers. And no, they aren't from actual asylums, that's just a word. When they get here, we have an obligation by United Nations rules to hear their cases and grant them protected status in accordance with their needs. Most can walk in through ports of entry, declare their need, and be put in the asylum request process. But for many others, their situation requires that they have to get here first by any means necessary. And to some, that means that official travel methods can land them in trouble with the people that are chasing them. Our first solution to this is that they just never make it here, hence Operation Streamline. But the ones that do make it end up being granted a case number, given a requirement to stay in contact and appear at necessary hearings, and are released into the country. This is called catch and release, and it is very successful. The other big one is that you use an app. The CBP made an app called CBP One that gave access to the I-94 foreign travel form, cargo declaration services, and allowed international organizations to apply for access on immigrants' behalf. Under Biden's administration, they expanded these functions to accommodate the several instances of humanitarian crises that happened during his presidency, by giving migrants 1 hour every day to log on and apply for asylum, and then hope and pray that their application gets pulled. A process already biased towards people who can afford a phone and service. Basically, a step in an okay direction that didn't go far enough. People died, starving and dehydrated in the borderlands, rejected by both Mexico and America while waiting to hear if they won the lottery. Not to mention the ones who died on the journey just to get here. Meanwhile, people here in the comfort of their generational homes complaining that too many people are flooding over the borders while we continue to rank #1 in food waste, energy waste, and consumer good waste. So, yeah. Keep feasting from your plates of privilege, bigoted liars, because the true friends are the migrant caravans you murdered along the way.